Once you are signed up with RenewAlert, the first thing you will need to do is verify your email address. You will receive an email from RenewAlert to confirm your address. Please make sure to do this or else you may have difficulties logging into your account in the future. If you do not see this email in your inbox, please check your junk folder. If the email is in your junk folder, please right-click the message, then scroll to Report and click Not Junk. The message will then move to your inbox where you can click to verify your email address. This is also an important step to ensure you receive your reminder emails from RenewAlert. It's a good idea from time to check your junk folders to see if any RenewAlert emails start routing there later. After you log in, the first screen you will see is your main dashboard. The dashboard acts as a summary for your account and provides summary-level visibility across all your tracked items. The left-hand side of the screen is where the menu is located. To enter a new reminder, click Add a Reminder. The first box is called Assign Reminder to. Our Enterprise Operations Management System allows you to assign specific reminders to other team members within RenewAlert. For example, with hotel management, you can assign permit renewals to general managers at specific properties. For franchise management, you can assign compliance tasks to individual franchise operators or general managers. For multifamily property management, assign vendor contracts to property managers. If your account is a single user account managing your small business, just leave this box as is and move on to the next section. The next section is Reminder Name. Here, name your reminder or task ideally in under 5 words. You do not need to detail the actions that need to be taken here. Simply name the reminder. For example, if your reminder is for an Adobe software subscription renewal, you would name it Adobe Software Annual Renewal. For a liquor license in your restaurant, Liquor License Renewal. The next section is called Description. Here you can enter a 4 to 5 word summary describing the action related to the reminder name. Back to the hotel software license example. In description, you could put Renew Property Management System. For contract management purposes with vendor agreements, you might put Renegotiate Service Contract. This approach keeps your reminders organized and actionable. The next section is Category. This is a drop-down where you can select the most relevant category to your reminder or task. You can start to type a category to see if there's a match. Categories include subscriptions for your subscription management needs, contract renewals for vendor management, compliance, licenses, permits, and more. RenewAlert is much more than a contract management or compliance software. You can add key action items as well. Once you see the best category, click on it to select it and move on to the next section. Deposit/advance payments. This section is helpful for tracking any deposits or advance payments made. This can be for building leases with advance payments made or deposits paid to utility companies. If there is no deposit or advance payment, just leave this section blank. The next section is Payment Amount. Here you would enter the payment or expense associated with the reminder or the task. For software subscriptions, enter your monthly subscription cost. For contract management, log your vendor service agreement amounts. You can enter payments that are monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. Just enter the payment here and in the next column, which called Payment Interval, select the frequency that payment is due. The next section is called Last Payment Amount. This is not a required field and is just here if it's helpful to a specific reminder. In the next section called Last Payment Date, you can enter the date of the last payment amount. Both of these sections are helpful, so you can see when you paid something that is not typically charged monthly and how much you paid. This can help you if a vendor tries to bill twice for something you already paid. For example, if you paid for annual pest control service at your facility in January, if they tried to bill you again in July, you could log into RenewAlert and see how much you paid and when. Last payment is also helpful, where you can track subscription costs over time. Is the software subscription or vendor contract increasing each year? This feature helps you monitor cost trends across all your vendor contracts and subscriptions. Inception Date. This section is where you enter the date the contract started. If you don't know when or if it's a task where an inception date is not relevant, just enter the date you enter the reminder. You have to enter a date here. Don't worry about overthinking it. Expiration Date. This section is where you put the date the task is due or the contract or subscription expires. Don't put the date you want to be reminded, as that will be handled in the next screen. Just enter the expiration date here. You can enter things like when permits expire, fire safety certificates, health permits, liquor licenses, elevator inspections, and employee reviews are due. For contract renewals, you can log when vendor agreements end. For subscription tracking functionality, Enter when your software subscriptions renew. Again, this is where the actual expiration dates go. Reminder renew. This is a very important section. If you put your mouse over the question mark next to it, you will see it will provide you a summary of this feature as well. When you activate Reminder Renew, a box will open directly to the right of it called Renewal Period. What this does is, it sets a reminder to automatically renew once it is triggered and runs its full cycle of reminders. For example, if your hotel's liquor license needed to be renewed by November 30th every year, you would set Reminder Renew to the on position and then set the renewal period to 1 year. You would get your reminder emails prior to the November 30th deadline. Then once they are all sent and the date passes, the reminder will reset automatically for November 30th the next year. You don't need to go in and enter a new reminder. It's handled automatically. This feature applies to everything: annual permits, vendor agreement renewals, equipment lease renewals like copier leases, recurring operational tasks that need to be handled, and subscription renewals. Many businesses track month-to-month vendor contracts this way using our operations software. They set Reminder Renew to automatically reset every year even though the contract is month-to-month. Then once a year, evaluate the contract. Do you still need it? Has the price gone up? Are there better options? Or are you happy with it and want to let it roll over another year? Many suppliers now use month-to-month contracts over terms because most businesses do not keep track of them. Reminder Renew will stay active until you turn it off. Supplier rating. Have you ever had a terrible experience with a vendor contract, but you're stuck with using them for another 8 months? For hotel operations, maybe it's a linen service that's consistently late. For multifamily management, perhaps a landscaper who has been doing bad work. With supplier rating, you can rate your experience here and also add notes in the Reminder Notes section detailing your bad experience. Then when you see you're getting close to contract expiration, read up on any notes you may have left documenting your bad experience. Your star rating acts as a warning flag that this vendor or subscription may not be delivering the experience you're looking for. This vendor management system feature can also help track vendor performance across multiple locations. Account number. Here, you can enter in any account numbers, permit numbers, or ways to reference that specific reminder or task. For example, with insurance policies, enter your policy number. For a copier lease, enter the lease account number. If it's website login for a software subscription, you can type in the word email so you know it's your email address you log in with. Supplier tasks/notes. Here you can add a line of more details of action items related to this task, subscription, or contract. For an elevator permit, you could enter complete elevator inspection 60 days prior. For compliance management, you could add submit renewal application with proof of insurance. For vendor management, request new pricing proposal. Or since this is not a required field, you can also leave it blank. Website or email address. Here you can enter the website related to the task, subscription, or contract. If you renew permits online through your city or county portal, simply paste that link here. You can also add the vendor websites or portals to help you easily log into an account. Save yourself the pain of reinventing the wheel every year. Enter it once here and update the data if it changes. Also, if you have an email address to send contract renewals or cancellation notices to, you can put it here or in the Reminder Notes section. For operations management purposes, give yourself breadcrumbs. If you have Reminder Renew set, make an effort to improve your details in each reminder every year, so each time a reminder comes up, you can easily see what to do and how you did it before. Phone number. This is not a required field, so you can leave this blank. The purpose of this section is to store any relevant phone numbers associated with this task or reminder. You can add a main customer service number or even add your rep's direct number for faster service. For subscription management, some SaaS companies require you to call to cancel. Add that number here so you're prepared. Non-renewal sent date. This section will usually be left blank. The purpose of this section is if you ever cancel a subscription or contract, and it still has time to run before its termination date, you can log the date you sent the non-renewal notice here. For example, if want to change waste management companies, you would log when you sent the cancellation notice in this section. Then if the contract somehow ends up renewing unexpectedly or not terminating as planned, you can reference the date here and any notes you may have. It can also act as a to-do list for contract management. If you look and don't see a date there, you know cancellation hasn't been sent and still needs to be done. Reminder Notes. Here is where you can enter all of your notes and updates related to that task or reminder. User tip. Before you add anything here, you can click Reminder Template, and when you do, the fields from the data above will automatically populate in. Then enter any notes you want to add. You can add notes, contact dates, and helpful hints in this section. If Reminder Renew is set to on, you will continue to get good quality recurring notes you can improve year over year. Think of this section as a best practices guide where you can add helpful details that may not be evident in the data fields above. User tip: if you have Google Drive or use a cloud drive, one thing you can do here is create specific folders for each reminder in the cloud, and then copy and paste the drive links into your reminder notes. This way you can easily access related files without uploading and storing them here. For example, you can create a folder for each property's permits and licenses, vendor contracts, or even HR employee review templates. When you upload files to cloud drives, the link in your reminder will always show the most up-to-date files. The link adds an extra layer of security, so only users with your Drive credentials can access them. Choose files: if you want to attach a document directly to a reminder or task and not use file links, no problem. Simply click Choose Files and upload any files directly to the reminder. Once you are done, click Save Proceed to Email to go to the next screen. This next screen is where you can set up the reminder emails that will be sent to you. Each field has the question mark icon next to them, which you can run your mouse over for additional details explaining the section. Reminder period: this is where you enter when, prior to the expiration date of the task, subscription, or reminder, that you want your reminder emails to be sent out. This is a very flexible section. For example, if you have a liquor license expiring, you might want 90 days advance notice to gather any required documentation to initiate and complete the renewal process. For annual fire safety inspections, you may need 60 days advance notice to coordinate with the inspector and properly prepare for the inspection. For subscription tracker purposes for any software subscriptions, maybe 30 days is sufficient to evaluate whether to renew or cancel a subscription before it renews. For contract renewals with major vendors like uniform services, you might want 90 to 120 days to shop alternatives and negotiate better terms. Be deliberate here and make sure to give yourself enough time to act, but not too much time that someone may procrastinate and it slips by. Remember, Reminder Renew can be your safety net where if you do set your dates inaccurately, it will reset that reminder for the next interval. User tip: our most successful users make sure to read their supplier contracts closely and look for clauses related to termination or cancellation of the contract. It's best to have a copy of the contract that is signed by you and accepted by the vendor or supplier and is saved to the reminder. When often, most contracts commence on the date the vendor accepts the contract, so it's best to read the documents closely so you understand exactly when a contract ends, so you can set the correct reminder period. Reminders to send: here you can select how many reminder emails you want sent out from your operations management dashboard. You can pick anywhere from 0 to 3. The system numbers the emails, which is helpful for compliance tracking, so you know when it's a final reminder and maybe your last warning to take action. Contacts: here the RenewAlert account holder's email will automatically populate. For operations management across teams, you can add additional team members to specific reminders. To do this, simply click Add Contact and an additional email field will appear. Enter the email address in this field. You can add up to 5 additional email addresses for each reminder. The system will send reminder emails to each email listed in the reminder, including non-RenewAlert subscribers. This is a great way to automate reminders to people and loop them in on specific tasks or contracts to optimize collaboration. Also, if you have multiple email reminders set, it's a great way to automate your follow-up reminders to ensure things do not fall through the cracks. Notes: this is the area you can pre-write your reminder email to yourself, as well as anyone else you have included. User tip: see reminder email templates. Most users select Use Reminder Notes. This will pull the reminder notes from the previous screen over into your reminder email text. From there, you can add or delete any details. You can also add instructional text at the top that will help improve the quality of your reminder email. The goal here is to set yourself up for success later and for years to come by crafting a complete message that you will be able to quickly act on in the future. Spend a few extra minutes today providing extra details, and you will find it will help you and your team members for years to come. iCal checkbox: if you check this box, you will get an Outlook or Gmail calendar entry for this reminder. This additional step acts as a backup to the emails and is excellent for operations management processes. Choose files: if you click this, you can upload files here that will be attached and sent out with your reminder emails. Files attached in the prior screen will not be sent out in reminder emails. If you wanted to attach a file to a reminder email, you must either select and upload the file here or make sure the cloud drive link is provided in the reminder email. For the last step, click Save, and your reminder is complete.